Welcome to week 2 of Fretboard Roadmap, where we are going to learn another 3-string scale, and we're going to work on another sequence that's going to help us get our hands in shape, it's going to train our ear, and it's going to help us work up the neck, become vastly more familiar with the neck. Now, we're using 3-string scales as a vehicle to explore the neck. There are many, many other ways that you can get to know the neck. But this is what we're choosing to use in order to accomplish all 3 of those objectives. Now, last week, and some messages this last week, suggested that while there are definitely some intermediate players watching, there are quite a few beginners, and there were several requests that we move a bit more slowly. Now, I will move a little bit more slowly from this point forward in terms of demonstrating and stuff like that. But be aware that 3-string scales are by nature more difficult than your typical beginner material. So, in order to keep people engaged that are intermediate players, we have to walk this balance. We're presenting a bit more advanced material, not advanced in terms of beginners can't do it, but just keep in mind that there's a large range of people watching, and I absolutely want to cater towards the more beginner side and the intermediate side in this course. And I'll do my best to do that. Make sure, if you are, well, regardless of what skill level you're at, any question is welcome. I will address any question. And that will help, your involvement will help me gauge where the crowd is in terms of what I need to cover. What do I need to go back and recover? How can I clarify certain things? So keep all those things in mind, and let's get to it. Last week, we started on G. This was the scale pattern we did. And we had several people submit badges for these, and you guys did great. Up to tempo, you're doing the sequencing. It really sounded and looked really, really nice. Now, we're going to start on A. We're going to move up the neck a little bit, and we're going to learn another 3-string sequence. This is the second of 7 total. We're going to start on A, but we're going to be in the key of G. This is a foray into some really, really musical playing in the future. Even if you don't understand everything that's going on right now with, why are we starting in A? Why aren't we starting on G? That's not the way the patterns are laid out, first of all. And second of all, you're really going to be able to access more advanced techniques and more advanced theory concepts if you have these scales under your belt and if you understand the implications of starting on a different note of the scale. So let's go to the tab and let's learn the pattern. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use fingering, I'm going to be in this position here, like this. So when I play 5, 7, 8, I'm already ready to play 5, 7, 9. See that on the very beginning there? So we have 5, 7, 8. I'm using fingers 1, 2, 3. And then I'm already in position to do 5, 7, 9. 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, like that. Then, what's great about this scale is that we've got 3 5, 7, 9s in a row. So 5, 7, 8, then 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, all the way up to the G. Here we go again. 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9. Once more. Then we've got 2 7/8-10s, but we have a bit of a position shift. I'm right here. I'm going to put my first finger up on the 7th fret, and we have 2 7/8-10s. Seven, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. So let's take the whole thing all the way up again. 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, position shift, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. Once more, all the way up slow. Then on the way down, we just need to be mindful of that position shift. So 10, 8, 7, 10, 8, 7, 9, 7, 5. So I'm gonna go with my pinky right here to adjust for that position shift. So I'm going to do the whole scale slow. And I'm going to use the triplet vibe as well. Oops. Again. I'm zoning out on that down. Let's do it again. Okay. Now, last week what we did, the first thing we did after we got the sequence down was we brought it to the metronome. Now, one of the number one questions that we get on Jam Play is, how do I practice? That's one of the number one questions. How do I practice? So last week we spent a fair bit amount of time with me showing you how I practice, how to practice these. It's very important. I'm not just sitting here drilling these for me at all. I'm showing you how it looks to properly drill a scale position, a scale pattern, something that you've learned. This is something that once you see in action, hopefully you'll understand better how to do it yourself. Trust me, I'm not sitting here drilling for my own good. I've practiced these scales plenty. I'm trying to show you guys how to practice these scales. That's the point. That's why I bring out the click. That's why I demonstrate all these things, rather than just showing you the scale. So here, what we're going to do, and I said this last week, I'll say it again, I'm going to use tempos that are comfortable for me and that end up pushing me a little bit, because that's what you want to do. They may or may not be the same tempos, but in order for me to effectively show you how to practice, I have to use tempos that work, that push me, and that not only push me, but that start comfortable and then push, because then you can see how I react to things when they do push me. That also is going to help you understand how to react when stuff starts to push you. So we're going to start 80 beats per minute. And we're going to run the scale with the click. So that would be da 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 da, alternate picking. Okay, let's go to 90. I want to maintain tempo. I want to maintain composure. If I can't, I need to back it down. All right, let's go to 100. I'm increasing 10 beats per minute. And if I keep increasing 10 beats per minute and it ends up being too fast, then I'll back it down 5 beats per minute. Okay, go to 110. Okay. Keep pushing it until you start to feel a bit uneasy, and then back it off a little. 120. Okay, 130. That might be a little fast. So yeah, I'm struggling a bit. We're going to go down to 125. Try to make this work, and then maybe we can push back up to 130. this part right here, I'm not paying attention there, so I need to work that a little bit. Let's see if I can get back up to 130 and play it more cleanly. This is how it's done. This is how you build speed and accuracy at the same time. I felt a lot better. Okay, now we've worked out a little bit. Let's be conscious of the notes. We're in the key of G, we're starting on A. Let's be conscious of what notes we're playing, what note names we're playing. And we're also going to add degrees. Degrees are going to get a little tricky. If we're talking about G, we're starting on the 2. We're playing 2 to 2. Okay, so we'll go to degrees in a second. Here's the names of the notes. Referring back to the tab. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. G, A, B, C, D. D, C, E, F sharp, G. Oh, that's wrong. I'm turned around. D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A. Now remember, last week we spent a fair amount of time finding the notes and hearing how they sound over the drone. So last week we did that over a G tonal center. This week we're going to do it over an A tonal center. We're going to be conscious of how these notes sound over this A sound. Minor sound. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Now we've got this pattern in here. Right here, there's a wealth of notes. What notes are those? What notes sound cool? Well, they all sound kind of cool, but let's dissect it a bit. D, E, F sharp, F sharp. G, A, B, B, A. So even though A is the second degree of the G major scale, it sounds, because we're playing over an atonal center, it sounds like 1. So let's talk about degrees in the key of G as though A is our 1. Last week it was easy because 1 was G. This week we're shifting the numbers and we're calling this 1. So not only are we concerned about the note names, but we're concerned about how our new numbers sound over the drone. You don't have to know a whole lot more. The only thing you have to do is be willing to train your ears in this drill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 2, 3, 4. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 7, 1, 2. 6, 7, 1, 6, 7, 1. All right, you guys following? Any questions or comments?
We do have a few questions here.
Yeah.
This one is from Patrick. And Patrick is asking, so the ring finger only on the E string, the C note? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the only place you're using the ring finger. That's it.
A little stretchy.
It is a little stretchy. You don't have to do that. You could do this. You could just 1, 3. You could do that. That would work fine. Some people even like to use 1, 3, 4 all the way up on those. If that's easier, fine. You know, fingering it becomes. If you want to do that, you should be able to do both, really. But if that's easier to start out with, fingering becomes kind of subjective. It's kind of whatever you can do to make it sound musical. Because once you start playing in real music, you're not just blowing up and down the pattern. So, but yeah, if you want to use 1, 3, 4 there, like that, and then also 1, 3, 4 here. That's totally acceptable. So here's what the fingering we initially did. Or you can do this. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Do it both ways. Practice it both ways. You're going to need it for different situations. Good question. Thank you.
And the next question is from Graybeard54. Well, it's more of a comment. My left hand can't keep up with the right hand. Frustrating.
Ah, that's interesting. A lot of times people say that their right hand or their picking hand can't keep up with this one. That just means, you know, the drilling I was doing earlier, you got to do that a lot. I can't tell you how many countless hours, I literally can't tell you how many hours, I've spent doing the types of drills that you saw me do earlier. It's time, it's practice, it's bringing that click up a little bit, bringing it down, bringing it up, and practicing getting these hands synced up. There's no shortcut. It's just a lot of work. You'll get it. But if you're having trouble keeping up, back that metronome down. Back it down to where you can keep up. and then gradually inch the click back up. And you saw, even as I was getting warmed up there, I had way more trouble at 130 the first time. And then when I worked back up to it, it felt much better.
Okay, we are caught up for the moment.
Okay, let's take a look at the sequence. Starting on A sequence. All right, turn off my delay here. So we have a 6-note grouping per string. It's still grouped in threes. 8, 7, 5, 5, 7, 8. 8, 7, 5, 5, 7, 8. Then we go 5, 7, 9, 9, 7, 5. So notice this is a tricky sequence, but it's cool. Let me play just those first 2 lines. Again. It's just the first 2 strings. It's the first line, actually. That's how that feels. That's the reason I sped it up there. Now here, I'm going to play those again slow. Then here's our first finger. Then we're gonna take our 4th finger and we're gonna start the sequence over again, where we descend 9, 7, 5, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 9, 7, 5. So if I play all 4 of those together, you're gonna get the gist of it. Bunch more time, slow. Okay, next we're going from 5, and you're gonna have to slide or just transition 10. 8, 7, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 10, 8, 7, 5. Now we don't specifically descend the whole thing because we're kind of ascending and descending at the same time as we're going up, if you understand my meaning there. Let me play the whole thing for you again. Slow, slow. Now the picking should be strict alternate picking, or you could use some legato in there, you know. But you're not going to want to do like consecutive picking or anything like that, because it's an even number on the strings. You could definitely work in legato if you do it carefully. Just make sure you're doing the accents. Okay, several more times on the sequence here. All right, let's take it to the click. We're going to want to start slower because it's more difficult. Da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3. This is 16th note triplets, as opposed to the last exercise, which was 8th note triplets. So this means it's 6 notes per beat. Da 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 da. So we're gonna want to slow way down. We'll go to like 50. Da 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 da. Now this is a good thing to keep in mind. It's really hard to keep on track when you've got a click that's so slow. So even though we're playing 16th note triplets, we're going to let the click go on 1 2 3 4 5 6 da 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 da. So we're still it's gonna be phrased like 8th note triplets if you're listening to it against the click, even though we know we're playing 16th note triplets, because it's too hard to play to that slow of a click and feel anything. So we're gonna go back up to, we'll go to 70. Da 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 da. Those transitions are difficult. Push it up to 80. Go to 90. Transitions. 110. Six-note pattern for strings are sometimes easier than three-note patterns. And that's because you're not having to deal with down and up picking when you're switching the strings. Let's go to 130. There's no right tempo, I'll say that again. Except for there is wrong tempos. There's ones you can't play to. It's not too bad. Let's go 140. Okay, 150. That's too fast. We'll back it down to 145. I can feel myself tensing up just a little bit, so that is my signal that I'm probably going to want to stay there and just focus on being loose and not try to push it up to 150. Now I'm getting tired and sloppy. So I'm going to take a break. I think that I definitely did it at 145 or 140, and then I 150 was too fast, 145 was good, and then I started to get tense. So it's time to take a little break, and this is exactly how it's going to look with you. And the tempos might not be the same, but as you learn this, you want to drill these. You want to get these to where you're building your technique, you're building your alternate picking, you're building your stamina, you're building your reach and your positioning. These scales are so valuable for that sort of thing. Questions, comments?
All right. This one is from BDC. There are scale patterns starting on the middle finger, which I find easier. Will we be getting to those? Obviously, these have their uses too.
No, we're not going to be getting to those in this course. This is only 3 on a string scales. We're spanning the fretboard week by week using 3 on a string scales as the exclusive vehicle. We're not going to work on those other ones. I mean, we could. There's thousands and thousands of scale patterns. We're working on 7 over the course of 10 weeks.
And the next question is from High Life Sipper. Quickly, what is legato?
Legato, quickly, is where you're not picking everything. So if I'm hammering on or pulling off, hammer on, that would be legato. Or a slide would be legato. You're not picking a note, but you're switching notes. Or you're pulling off with this hand. For more information on legato, check out Skill of the Week, which I'm doing before this course, week 6. Skill of the Week, week 6. We talk about hammer-ons and pull-offs. That has been archived, and you can find that in the live archives on Jamplay.
Okay, and another one from High Life Sipper. As a matter of course, should we make an effort to nod our head or tap our foot on the 6?
Yeah, that would be great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, it's part of that, and I'll refer to another one of my courses, the strum it up mentality, where your body's in the groove, you're feeling that accent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bob your head, you know. Or if you're doing the sequence. You're very good. You always want to be in the groove, always be making music.
Okay, that catches us up on the questions for now.
Okay. So, and again, this isn't, for most people who are just learning these, this is not something all that you would pack into an hour. But once you're comfortable with the scale, once you can play the sequence, once you can play the scale, once you've honed in, like we did earlier, on note names and degrees based on the tonal center, once you've spent time doing that, we can go and have the privilege of playing to our backing track. Now, this backing track is based on an A tonal center. So you get a sneak peek into something much more difficult that a lot of people don't fully understand, but you're going to already be doing it. You're playing a G major scale, starting on A, with an A tonal center. It's a really cool sound. Play, have fun with it. Play the scale, play parts of the scale, muse with it, improvise with it. Pick 3 notes and repeat them over and over again. But stick to the scale pattern. Your fingering can be whatever you want it to be. You're using the scale pattern as a vehicle to express yourself over this track. I'm just taking those 4 notes and experimenting with how I can make them sound cool. That's the 7, the 6, the 5, and the 4, and the 1. And we could go on a lot longer if we wanted to. This is the most fun part. It's taking the scale. I didn't do anything but play that scale. And when I do these drills in private lessons, people will say, oh, well, that's all well and good for you because you've been doing this a long time. But when I do it, it just sounds like a scale. Well, yeah, it will for a long time. You can't expect to just learn a scale and then immediately phrase this way. You learn how to do it by simply doing it over and over and over again and being comfortable enough with the pattern first. But then you start to find notes that sound good over certain chords. It's what practicing is all about. I'll never forget a video I saw of Steve Vai a while ago. Steve Vai is a fantastic guitar player, and he was learning this, or he was doing this monster tapping thing on the guitar, and he said, when I first started this, even after all these years, it was extremely slow. I felt like a beginner again. And I just had to sit there and practice it for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours until I got comfortable with it. And whenever you're learning anything new, you have to be willing to put in the time. If you want to learn how to span the fretboard, to feel comfortable going all over the place, particularly in this course using 3-string scales, you have to put in the time. Lots and lots of time. I can't stress that enough.
Ready for some questions?
Yes.
We have a couple here. This one's from msully30. Will you show us how to play this in every key?
We are sticking to the key of G all 10 weeks, but we are starting from different tonal centers. So last week we started from G, then we started from the tonal center A. Next week we're going to do the tonal center B, then C, then D, then E, then F sharp. We're staying all in one key, but we're showing you how to inch up the neck in the key of G, playing over different tonal centers, and there's a new track every week.
And from Graybeard54, is this more difficult on an acoustic guitar?
Yes, much more, but no less doable. You just have to adjust your expectations.
All right, and one more here. This one is from JVL. Let me get this up here. And this is just more of a comment. Something to strive for. Cool what can be done with just one pattern.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. And if you're interested in more of that kind of thing, we took one pattern and we spent 10 weeks on it in a live archived course that I did called Pentatonic Precision. And if this is feeling a bit over your head in some ways, technique or whatever, check out Pentatonic Precision, because we just take one pentatonic scale for 10 weeks and we explore how to be musical with it. It was a fun course.
Okay, I think that catches us up on the questions.
All right. Practice, practice, practice. Patience, patience, patience. Think about your note names. Think about your tones. Numbers, like we did earlier. If you need help with this, go back and re-watch certain sections of this event, watch the demonstrations again, and absolutely check out the guided practice. We'll see you next week for starting on B real soon.